Good afternoon, everybody. It is May 4th, and spring has finally arrived. Temperatures are rising, and our absolutely insane amount of snow is melting. I still have a lot of ice in the lakes, though, which is a bit unheard of. Usually we're cleared up by this week or next week, and we're going to be late into May before ice is actually off the lakes. So right now, basically doing a bit of surgery on the sleds. So we pulled the back end out of it, and I'm going to be doing a track swap as well as some bearing changes and O-rings and a bunch of other stuff in the drive line. But for now, the fun stuff is the shocks. So I pulled this skid out and we replaced all the bearings and checked the mainway bushings, and they're still absolutely perfect, the greasable bushings. So they're great. I highly recommend that investment if you can. The next thing we did here is we put in a set of exit shocks. So I have the old stock units to compare. These are X-Package shocks, the stock ones. But you can see this back track shock. The body is beefier on the exit, as well as the shaft is noticeably beefier on the exit shock. On the front shock, the body's a bit shorter and it's the same diameter. But of course you have added capacity in the remote reservoir as well. And this shock also has a remote reservoir on the bottom there. These are Exit X2s, so they have the compression adjustment and the rebound adjustment on both of these shocks. So rebound much more prevalent in the rear suspension and has a really big impact on how the suspension cycles. So I think it is important to have that on rear suspension, having both your compression and your rebound. I also got a set of Exit X1 shocks for the front. Now, a little bit of a backstory here. I contacted a bunch of Canadian companies. I will not disclose who they are because maybe they were just having a bad month. I don't know. But I didn't hear back from any of them except one. And the one I did hear back from, I heard back from way too late. So being frustrated with that, I called Ian at Monster Performance. I emailed him and told him what I was looking for. And he kind of got back to me right away. And I already know his reputation from Do Talk. And, he's done suspension work for the winning teams at Cairns Quest and a bunch of other races, and the guy's reputation is just stellar. So even though I'm in Canada, I figured, you know what, I'm going to take a hit on shipping. I'm going to take a hit on duty, but it'll be worth it in the end. And man, oh man, it was totally worth it. I filled out Ian's form online and sent it to him, and then we chatted a few times back and forth, and basically what I said to him was, budget's not an issue, but I want the best shock I can get with the least amount of adjustments that are necessary. So given all the input I gave him about my sled and how I ride and what I carry with me and how much weight and this and that, he narrowed everything down to 2 sets of shocks. And the first set was Elka Stage 3. Or this exit combo. And I chose the exit combo because these are an incredibly tough shock. They have a higher oil and gas capacity than the Elkas. They do have a slightly less wide range of adjustment. So the Elkas are a little bit more adjustable, like the range of adjustment's a bit wider. However, Ian assured me that will not be a factor in that when he sets these shocks up and valves them, whatever he does, he's like, you're going to have more than you need with the range of adjustment. You will not have an issue. And yeah, so the fronts are not rebound adjustable because Ian said after I'm done with them, you're not really going to benefit from rebound on the front. Rebound is more critical on the rear end, and I understand why. But that the fronts don't need rebound. Yeah, it's, for very specific purposes. And he said the range the rebound that's going to be internally valved into this is going to do me fine for, for what I do. These have triple rate springs. They have a rather interesting preload adjuster on the front. You have to pull this collar down, and there's like a C-clip you move down. But people might look at that and go like, oh, it's really hard to change. But honestly, preload, you set it once, and once you have it dialed in, you don't really touch it. Everything else is on the compression adjustment. Yeah, so I'm very excited to get these things on and to test this out. Will not be this year, obviously, but yeah. And these front shocks are for a 42.5-inch front end. So I am putting alternative impact 42.5-inch trail A-arms on this thing and widening out the ski stance. Just because I am finding I'm doing a lot more trail and lake riding than I am tight bush trails and stuff. I've noticed significantly less of that type of riding for me in the last year here. So yeah, we'll try. I'm going to keep my 36-inch front end just in case, but yeah, I think I'm going to be fine with the 42.5, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this sucker handles in the trails when I'm done with it. There's a lot more work to do. I'm changing out reed valves and doing a bit of programming on the computer, like on the engine computer, and a bunch of other random maintenance-y type items. But yeah, very excited about this. And if any of you guys are looking for an upgrade in your shocks, I highly recommend Ian at Monster Performance. He does not need my endorsement. He's very well known and has an absolutely great reputation that is definitely well earned. And I encourage you to get a hold of him if you need or want a significant upgrade in your suspension. All right, that's it for now. And I'll be getting more videos out this summer while I do maintenance and other upgrades. And until then, everybody have a great spring.